Hello second grade, so today we are going to create a realistic self-portrait, and our learning objective for today is we will create a really realistic self-portrait using correct facial proportions. So we've already talked about correct facial proportions are where the eyes, the nose, and the mouth are placed on your face. So you're going to start with a small white piece of paper that you need to write your name and the day you have art, day A, day B, day C. You're going to flip it over and you're going to get an oval pattern for me, or a face pattern. Kind of looks like an egg shape. The pointier part is the chin, the wider, flatter part is the top of the head. So you want to make sure that you place it on the paper correctly. And then you want to put it in the middle. You want to leave enough space for your hair and enough space for neck and shoulders. You're going to trace around the oval. Set that aside. And then you want to give yourself a neck. You don't want your neck to be too wide, but you also don't want it to be too skinny. Slightly curved vertical lines, and then they turn into horizontal lines that go side to side off the side of your paper. And then add a couple of curved lines at the bottom for a t-shirt. So the first thing that we want to do is find the middle from top to bottom for our eyes. You can do it a couple of different ways. You can kind of take your fingers, put it at the top and the bottom, and kind of bring them together, and where they meet should be about the middle. You could try that. And the oval pattern they give you might already be folded in half, so you could use this, or you could lay this at the top right inside your drawing, flip it up, and then just draw a light line right where that fold is so that you know that's the middle. But somehow you want to find the middle from top to bottom. And this is this gentle light line that you draw. This is the line that your eyes sit on. Our eyes are ellipse shapes or football shapes, and the top of them sit, the top half sit above the line and the bottom half sit below the line. Now the eyes are tricky. It's hard to make two exactly the same. You can see this one here is a little bit bigger than that one. So try not to be too hard on yourself if your eyes aren't exactly the same size, but if they're close, don't stress out, just leave it. And then you're going to erase that guideline that goes across to tell you where the eyes go. And then to finish off your eyes, to make them look realistic, because that's what we're trying to do, is draw a realistic self-portrait. So realistic means it looks real, like a photograph. You're going to draw the iris, or the color part of your eye, and that's a circle. So a lot of people, some people like to draw a U in the eye, or they like to draw two straight lines. And that's not at all what our eyes look like. It's a circle. So you want to draw a circle that touches the top of the ellipse and swings down and touches the bottom. So your circle is going to touch the top of the ellipse and swing down, and it can touch the bottom of the ellipse, but it doesn't have to. If it doesn't touch the bottom of the ellipse, you want the other eye to do the same thing. You don't want one eye to have the iris touching the bottom of the ellipse shape and one eye where it doesn't. You want them to be pretty equal. So you can see I didn't do a real good job on that left eye there. The iris isn't big enough, so I need to erase and make it bigger. Remember, we're creating a realistic self-portrait, so we're trying to make it look as real as possible. But again, you can't draw two things exactly the same, so you're just going to do the very best that you can. Alright, and then we need the pupil, which is that black dot in the middle of your colored part of your eye. So you're just going to add a little black circle right on the inside. Now we need to do our eyebrows, those furry things above our eyes. And there's spacing between that, is from the top of your eye, is about a finger's width. So you want to take your finger, just set it on top of your eye, and you know that's where your eyebrow should be. And our eyebrows are short little hairs that grow, and they start growing straight up and down kind of in the middle of our face, and then as they go towards the side of our face, that hair grows to the side. So for the second eye, I kind of drew that a little too high compared to the first eyebrow, so I'm going to bring that down a little bit. And again, you can't draw two things exactly the same, so just do the best you can. The eyebrows can get a little frustrating because sometimes, like you can see, this one's bigger and thicker than the other one, so now I need to go back and add some thicker lines on that side. So they're still not equal, and it's going to be pretty hard to make them exactly equal, so close is good. Okay, so now I have the eyes placed in the right spot. I have my eyebrows a finger's width above my eyes, so that's a good spot for those. Now I need to find halfway between the eyes and the chin for the nose. So I'm going to take my finger and put it right on that line that was there. I can still see a little bit of it because I didn't erase it completely. Put my finger, the other finger on the chin, come up and meet, and where they meet, put a little light line, and that's halfway between my eyes and my nose, a real light line. And then my nose sits right here in between the middle of my eyes. So I don't want to make my nose wider than this space in between my eyes. And if the space between your eyes is really skinny, you might need to make your nose a little bit wider. But if you have a nice spacing between your eyes like I do, your nose should be about that width. So a nose, when you're looking at the front view, is a very short, shallow U. And then you have a backwards letter C that starts above the U and swings down and touches the bottom of the U. And same on the other side. Just like that. And my nose is sitting on that light line that I drew. So now I'm going to go back and erase that light line. I haven't erased completely the line that goes across my eyes here. Okay, and now I need to find halfway between my nose and my chin to find where the opening of my mouth goes. So that's right about here. Now if you look, mine's not exactly perfect. My nose is crooked. It's a little bit over to the right side and less to the left side. But it's in the right spot. It's drawn realistically. So I'm not looking for perfection. What I'm looking for is that your eyes are in the middle of your face, that your nose is in between your eyes and your chin, and that your mouth, the opening of your mouth, is between your nose and your chin. So my mouth, here's the line. I'm drawing it a little bit darker because that's going to stay there. I'm not going to need to erase. The top of my mouth sits right above the line, the top lip. And your mouth should be as wide as your pupils, those black dots in your eyes. So, and you have a gentle little bump at the top for the top lip, and then the bottom lip is just a U. A short U, or yeah, it's not tall, but it's wide. Okay? And then for your ears are located between your eyes and your nose. So I'm just going to draw two curved lines on the side of the face. You can see this ear went a little bit lower than my other ear, so I need to erase it and bring that over. All right, so there I have a very realistic self-portrait showing correct facial proportions. My eyes are in the middle of my head. My nose is in the middle of my eyes and my chin, and my mouth is in the middle of my nose and my chin. That's very important. That's how you're going to meet the learning objective, to have your eyes, your nose, and your mouth in the correct spot on the face. So once you get this drawn, now we need to make it look like us, because so far we've all been following along. Everybody's portrait looks very similar, very much the same, but we all don't look the same. And what makes our portraits change is our hair. The hair is what's going to make it stand out. So I'm going to show you quite a few different choices for hair, because everybody kind of has different kinds of hair. So I'm going to start with a short boy hair. So if you have really super short boy hair that's close to your head, that you're going to draw a curved line that goes up from one ear to the other. And so this is your hairline here. And then you have super short hair, so you have to draw that texture of the hair. So you just take, and it's going to be a little tedious and take you a little while, but you just take and draw very short little hairs inside this space, inside your hairline, just like that, to show the texture of your hair that's very short and cropped to your head. And you're going to keep doing this until you fill in all this space. Okay? Now I'm going to move this out of the way, and now I'm going to show you how to do boy hair that's a little bit longer or more shaggy. So you're going to kind of start at the top over to one side, and you're going to draw like a zigzag line, kind of a jagged zigzag line from one side, and then a jagged zigzag line, and it goes down to the ears. Now you could leave it like this, or if you want, you can add another zigzag line over the top of the head, and then you just erase that oval shape at the top to get the short hair, and then you can add some of those lines to show that your hair is here, like that. So that's another type of boy hair. If you want to do boy hair that's spiky, then you would draw this curved line across the top of your head from one ear to the other, just like we did on this hair, short hair. Then you're going to erase the top of the oval, and then you're just going to draw spiky hair that sticks up off the top of the head. Okay? So those are the boy choices. So let's get to some girl choices. Okay. So let's say you have long straight hair like me with no bangs. So you don't have the short little hair in the front on your forehead. So you're going to draw a curved V line, upside down V, that goes to the ears like this. Then you're going to start above the head and you're going to go up and over the head, up and over the head. Okay? Now you can erase the head oval line at the top. And then depending on how long you make these lines, depends on how long the hair is. If you have shorter hair, you would just draw a line from the neck out to meet that line there. If you have hair longer like mine that goes behind your shoulders, you bring this line straight down to the shoulder. So that's how you would do that. And then you can come through and you can add some long hair lines to show that that's hair. Okay? Let's say you have bangs, the short hair on your forehead. You're going to draw kind of a slightly curvy, zigzaggy line kind of right above your eyebrows. And then your hair is going to be drawn just the same way as the last hair, up and over the oval. If it's long, it goes to the shoulders. If it's short, it goes to the ears. Then you erase the top of the oval, and then you're going to bring these lines down to show that you have short bangs, and then the lines that go down behind. All right. Let's say you have curly or wavy hair. You start very similar to the last hair. Then, instead of drawing a curved line that goes up and over, you're going to draw a wavy line that goes up and over. And this is for wavy or curly. Then, if you have wavy hair, then you're just going to draw some gentle waves. If you have curly hair, you're going to draw kind of spirals to show your curls, your beautiful curly hair. Okay? All right, and let's say you want to draw your hair like you have a ponytail or a braid. So the way that you do that is you start at the ears and you come up and over the forehead and over to the other ear. And then you add your little ponytail holder, which is a little rectangle. And then your ponytails come out of there and hang down. And then you can add the hair. If you want to do a braid, I'll show you my braids. They don't look exactly like a real braid, but they give you the idea of a braid. You come up and over, and then I draw bumpy lines. Bump, 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 bump. Now when I do my next row of bump, I try to make them meet there, real close together. So I try to make this second bumpy line the same amount of bumps. Add a ponytail holder down here. And the hair sticking out the bottom of the ponytail, and then draw the hair in the braids. And like I said, this doesn't look exactly like a braid, but it gives you the idea of a braid. Okay? Let's say you want to draw where you have just one ponytail. Then you would draw the ponytail holder here, and then the ponytail would go down. And so that's how you're going to create your realistic self-portrait with correct facial proportions, putting the eyes in the correct spot, the nose and the mouth in the correct spot. Okay, And then I'm going to take my eraser and erase all my pencil lines that go underneath the marker. Alright, and so now you're going to choose whatever drawing media you would like to color in your portrait, but I want you to use realistic colors because we're creating a realistic self-portrait. So you can use whatever drawing media you want, but you have to find the correct skin color. So I have those skin colored crayons, and the skin color crayons are probably going to be where you want to start for your face. So you're going to want to pull out one that matches your skin color, whichever one you think. You can hold it up against your hand if you want, or you can use your best guess. And you're going to color in your face very neatly with the skin color crayons. You're going to color the forehead nice and solid. You're going to color over the eyebrows and over the up to the top of the eye, but not over the eye. Color the ears. You're going to color under the eye. You're going to color over the nose. Now, I know some of you are not going to want to color over your mouth because you want your mouth to be a different color, but the problem is when you make your mouth a different color, it looks like you have lipstick on. So, color over your mouth. And then don't forget your neck. Your neck is the same color as your face. Now this will be the only part that you use these for. Don't use these crayons for the shirt or the eyes or the hair because it doesn't look realistic. These are skin colored crayons. These are not hair colored crayons, eye colored crayons, shirt colored crayons. Then you can use whatever media you want for the rest, which doesn't leave you a whole lot. It just leaves the eye, the shirt, and the hair. Now I'm going to use crayon because I like crayon. I think it looks nice, especially since I started so much with crayon. Eye color is either brown, green, or blue. So you need to pick one of those colors. Nobody has red eyes. No one has yellow eyes. Hair color. If you don't have green hair, you don't color yourself with green hair. If you don't have blue hair, you don't color yourself with blue hair. So most of us have blonde hair like me, which would be yellow, or you could have black hair like my daughter, or you could have brown hair. Some of you might even have red hair or strawberry blonde hair. And then for the shirt, it can be any color you want it to be. Whatever color, your choice. Colored in nice and neat and solid. Unless you want to add a stripe or a polka dot or some sort of pattern to your shirt, you can do that. Okay. And then I want you to decide what you want to do in the background. Do you want to color the background a solid color? Do you want to do a pattern in the background? I'm going to do a solid color, and I think I'm going to do yellow. Try not to scribble. I like to try and color in the same direction. It helps me by coloring in the same direction, it helps me to fill it in solid and evenly faster. If I'm coloring around and scribbling, it takes forever to fill in the space, but by coloring all in the same direction, I can color in solid, neatly, and do it faster. Alright, so there is my finished realistic self-portrait with correct facial proportions. Now the final thing you're going to do is you're going to get your artwork ready for display. So you are going to need to pick a paper to glue this down onto, whatever color. I'll have some choices out for you to choose from, and you're going to pick a color to glue your portrait to. Oh, once you pick the background paper that you want to glue your self-portrait onto, you're going to flip it over and you're going to put a frame of glue on the back of your work. And then you want to put it right in the middle. You don't want it to be crooked. You don't want a glue mess everywhere. So you're going to put it in the middle, flatten it down, and then you're going to get a name tag to fill out and glue to the bottom right corner. Alright, so you're going to write your name. on the name line. You're going to write your teacher's name, and then you're going to glue this onto the bottom right corner very neatly. And so you could glue it here where it overlaps your self-portrait. If you don't like that, you could glue it down hanging off of the paper, which is what I'm going to do. So since I don't want to put glue over the whole back, I'm just going to put a line of glue at the top of my nameplate, and then I'm going to place that on the bottom right corner hanging off, and there I have my realistic self-portrait showing correct facial proportions. Good job, second.